Ladies and gentlemen, this is one of the men I fear the most in Nigeria. Not for any legal reasons, but for the use of his intellect and words to make things happen. He is the last man standing in the cause of the common man. Most people in that discipline have gone into the background, afraid for what might happen to them. These are trying times. These are trying times. I fear this man and I fear Professor Wole Soyinka. I fear this man for the reason described, but I fear Wole Soyinka for his use of language. I'm serious. I have been to functions where Wole Soyinka would speak, and for the next 10 minutes, the microphone will still appear to be in the spirit of Soyinkaism. I've been to a function where after Wole Soyinka finished, I collected the mic, I opened my mouth, and I was shocked at what I heard. And encomious manipulation determines a janus attentionalism. Even me was like, I know once you speak grammar, Nigerians don't understand. They will clap and appreciate you, so everybody clap. And I entered another level because response to obtuse formality, such as historical and essential celebrity use of ideas and Italian ragamuffin. And by the time I raised my head, the whole place was empty. Only one man was at the back looking at me. I said, God bless you, sir. You mean after everybody left, you stayed back to listen to me? He said, hey, I'm the sound engineer, I'm waiting for my microphone. But Soyinka is coming. Only one person has been able to deal with Wole Soyinka, Patience Jonathan. They had a scuffle. Was going on, and Soyinka kept firing at her, she kept quiet. Soyinka kept firing at her, she kept quiet. Journalist went to meet her, said, Mama P, you cannot take this from Soyinka. 3 pages on the dailies, you must reply. You have to reply Wole Soyinka. She just looks at them. What? All I have to tell Wole Soyinka is woo! Since then, Soyinka kept to himself. Ladies and gentlemen, for some very powerful words of wisdom, some opening to what is actually happening. How's the bad guy? Barrister FEMI FALANA.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I asked the organizers of this program when I was expected to come here. Based on my experience, when you say a program is to commence at 2 o'clock in Nigeria, many of us will start leaving home at 2 o'clock. I'm taking cognizance of traffic and may eventually get to the venue at 3:30 or 4. I think that is what has happened to us this afternoon. Having said that, I would have loved to stay all day, but I have some other commitments. I have a case in Lagos, outside Lagos tomorrow, where somebody has been detained for about 7 years illegally, and I need to show up personally in court with a view to getting him out of illegal detention. So I apologize for not being able to stay all day. But having said that, I'm supposed to speak very briefly the state of the nation, particularly the demand for what you call, or rather the structuring and the rest of them. But let me say first of all that unlike members of the ruling class in the north and the south, saying this is a media event, I'm going to appeal to the Nigerian media not to confuse our people by giving the impression that the struggle of Nigeria is about north and south. It is not. For the majority of our people trying to eke out a living, they want their children to go to school. They want employment for those who have gone to school and graduated. They want security of life and property all over the country. They want to sleep with their eyes closed, as it used to be in this country. Most Nigerians want to go to the market and predict what they are going to buy, the prices of goods. Most Nigerians are currently wondering where the dollar that was exchanging for 60 kobo in 1980 now exchanges for 560 naira or more. Most Nigerians are wondering why our roads have become dead shots all over the country. Majority of Nigerians are wondering why the hospitals that were saved by the Buhari military dictatorship in 1984, our hospitals were described as consulting clinics. Nigerians are wondering why they have become mortuaries. Unless you answer these questions, unless you address these questions, you are going to engage in the politics of diversion, which is the pastime of Nigerian politicians, so that we do not know the problems of poverty, grinding poverty confronting our people. You are told that it's about North and South, or Christian and Muslim struggle. We are being told now by many politicians from the South that the next president of Nigeria must come from the South. Some group of politicians in the North are saying, we have the number, we shall continue to produce the president of Nigeria. Once you box yourself into such irrelevant ring of deception and fraud, you are not going to address the problems of underdevelopment. You are not going to address the problems of hunger. The northern part of the country, no doubt, has produced more rulers. I didn't say leaders. More rulers emerged from the northern part of the country. But today, if you are familiar with the terrain called the geography of Nigeria, you will discover that the northwest geopolitical zone that has produced majority of the rulers of this country, in fact, Katsina has produced 2 presidents and 1 military vice president. Katsina State today, that state, Katsina State, where the current president is from, has become one of the most insecure part of Africa, not just Nigeria. Where currently, in most of the local governments, communication has been shut down completely. You can't telephone, you can't make a call. The Northwest Zone is the most poverty-stricken zone in Nigeria. Zamfara State sponsored 28 students for WAEC. Ogun State had about 15,000 students that sat for WAEC. 11 states in Nigeria out of 36 states, including Zamfara, Katsina, Niger, and the rest of them, have refused to enact the Child's Right Law, which prescribes that compulsorily be in school from primary to junior secondary school. They are saying 11 states in the north, out of 36 states in the country. Oh, it is against our religion to have the Child's Right Law, which prescribes a minimum age of 18 years for marriage. Those who say that's against our religion, against our tradition, will never marry out their own children at 18. Their own children are in schools, at home and abroad. Down south here, in the southwest, which is ahead of other zones in terms of the poverty ranking, many of us are proud of a politician that ruled the West between 1951 and 1959. We talk of our regime with nostalgic feelings. What has happened since 1959? And we're no longer talking about other rulers in the West. Because among these programs, Awolowo made education free and compulsory in the 50s, 1955. And today, this region, because of education, is ahead of other areas in Africa. But when you go to the street today, in Lagos, Akure, Abeokuta, or Shokwa and the rest of them, you see young people, children on the street, hawking goods, selling wares. And that is a challenge to all of us that we are breathing. I was talking to the EFCC chairman yesterday, Mr. Power, because I read that, this year alone, the EFCC has convicted 981 Yahoo boys. And I called him to congratulate him. I was being mischievous. And when he said, thank you, sir, I said, Mr. Power, we are bringing a generation of criminally minded young people. 981, most of them from this region. Go and find out. So, young people are having criminal records. And that means they can never be useful to themselves and to the society. I'm therefore going to challenge you, the media, to please go beyond the limited perspectives of our politicians and raise concrete issues that can develop this country, that can fight poverty, that can challenge underdevelopment. Take the national currency. The government, the central bank, has fraudulently refused to announce the devaluation of the currency. Oh, we are not devaluing the naira. But through the dollarization of the economy, the naira has been rendered useless. I understand that very soon, a dollar will exchange for 1,000 naira. But why are we a poor nation? A country of wonderful opportunities. In spite of our dilemma, economic problems, if you still travel around Africa, particularly West African countries, they still thank God for creating this country because of our potential greatness. That potentiality must be realized in our lifetime. And it's doable. While we are still almost belatedly, the government is belatedly unbundling the NNPC. I'm sure you are aware. Companies have been formed from NNPC. I laugh. No serious nation is talking of oil any longer. In fact, by 2030, you may have no market to sell your product, oil. The economy of the world is now knowledge-driven. From Apple, Facebook, and others, they make more money than what we realize from oil. for palm kernel seedlings. Today, palm oil, quote me, palm oil sells much higher than crude oil in the international market. Just yesterday we are celebrating, the price of oil has gone to about $77. Today, you can Google a barrel of palm oil is about $570. Nigeria was the largest producer of that product in the world. Today, we are far behind. Indonesia and Malaysia produce 83% of the global consumption of palm oil. What of cocoa? A ton of cocoa is over $1,000. You can Google. Well, we are fighting over poverty. That oil produces about $15 billion a year now. This rush to Abuja by our governor, $15 billion a year. The budget of Nigeria last year was $30 billion. 206 million people. Brazil, 208 million people. The budget was $650 billion. So why are we poor? We are poor because our rulers people of expired ideas who are ruling us, they have embraced religiously the dangerous prescriptions of the IMF and World Bank, neoliberal policies that promote poverty. You are told that you have many people in employment, so sack many of them. They call it retrenchment. They say your currency is overvalued, so bring it down. And they say there are too many people who are educated in Africa. Make it impossible for many people to go to school. These are the prescriptions of the IMF and World Bank. But you need leaders who can look them in the face and say, no, we are going to develop at our own pace. Current regime is telling us it is good to take loans for development. Where is the development? With all the loans that have been taken, where is the development? And that is why I'm going to again appeal to the media to help to expose a lot of the injustice going on in our country. To say, there is insecurity in the country. Why do we have insecurity? All of us, when we are talking of insecurity now, we are talking of more weapons for our soldiers to fight terrorism. We are talking of more weapons for our policemen and women to defend us. Nobody is talking of social insecurity. The young men and women we are shutting out of schools. Nobody is talking of a future for them. The Southwest alone has about 54 universities out of 193 in the country. An average of 1,000. But I can tell you, universities like Last University of Lagos, FEMI, another, turn out more than 10,000 every year. So we should be talking about 200,000 graduates. Is there a government in Nigeria, in the Southwest, that has a policy, serious policy, to embrace those young people who are passing out of the NYC every year? Therefore, I'm pleading with you, don't turn the problems of Nigeria into a north-south affair. It's not a religious matter. When you go to the market, nobody asks for your religion or your tribe. It's kudi, I'm going kudi. Once you have your money, you buy your product and go home. I'm therefore going to appeal to all of us, the elite, to take more than a passing interest in the affairs of our country. We have left the politics of our country to the hands of politicians. It's dangerous. You can't leave the affairs of your country in the hands of those who do not think of your own interest or the interest of your children. For the media, my appeal to you is to ensure that those who are talking of 2023, which is legitimate, are made to address the problems confronting the country. It's not just about, oh, it is our turn now to produce the president. What do you want to produce the president for? You must let Nigerians know your policies on taxation, VAT, your policies on education, your policies on the future of our children. Are you going to continue to take loans? And these are the questions the press must ask. Otherwise, we are going to join the politicians in diverting the attention of our people. And in the process, we are not going to solve any of the problems confronting the country. Whether the next president comes from the south or the north, mark it. Nothing will change unless the dangerous economic policies of the country are changed in favor of our people. Let me conclude by challenging the media to assist us to fight poverty in our country. Following the judgment recently obtained by Rivers State on VAT, many people in the media are saying, oh, this is a revolution. We have never had it before. No. We have not less than 15 judgments. 15 judgments of our courts that have altered the arrangement that the military dictators left in 1999. Lagos State, the media in particular, must pay attention to those cases that the Lagos State government has won. And without those cases, you can quote me, many of the states will have collapsed economically. For instance, if you wanted to obtain a plan, building plan before, you had to go to the federal secretariat in your state or Abuja. It was Lagos State under the leadership of the government Tinubu. Oshimani was the attorney general. Lagos State went to court and said, no, physical planning is not in the exclusive list, so it shouldn't be the business of the federal government. And by split decision of 4 against 3 justices of the Supreme Court, Lagos State won the case. Today, all building approval in Lagos are done in Alausa here, and so it is in all the states. Secondly, in spite of the entrenchment of the Land Use Act in the Constitution, the federal government wanted to be controlling all the land in the country. Again, some of the state government went to court, and the governor of a state is in charge of all the land in that state. And the Supreme Court agreed. So when recently people were talking of RUGA, and people were expressing fear, I came up, no, why are you wasting your time and energy? The only plan the president controls, President Muhammadu Buhari, is the land in the federal capital territory. So if he's looking for grazing routes, you can't look for grazing routes outside Abuja. If the federal government wants to build any property in Lagos today, you have to apply to the government for CFO. And if the Ministry of Land Planning says no, that is the end of the matter. Furthermore, authority, they say no, those boats cannot be commissioned in Lagos without the approval of the federal government. I said no, This is the law in Nigeria. And that was the end of the matter. Now, I can go on and on. There was a time, I think, of Babangida, who woke up from his bed and enacted a decree and backdated it to 1975, when he was perhaps the captain in the army. In 1993, they wanted to take, just because of Osborne, because they couldn't justify the grabbing of Osborne. So what they did was to enact a decree and backdated it to 1975, that all land up to 100 meters seawall belongs to the federal government. What did we do in Lagos? Was to get a family, a sugar year to sue the federal government. And of course, the federal high court said the decree was illegal. More so that the author of the decree was not in power in 1975. Now, when you look at these cases, you will know that we've made some progress. I'm sure you are all aware of the seizure of the fund of Lagos State by the Olusegun Obasanjo administration. Lagos went to court and said, under section 162 of the Constitution, every tier of government, including the federal government, will have its money deducted and paid at the end of the month, statutory allocation. And the Supreme Court said, how dare you, Mr. President, to seize the fund of any tier of government? Therefore, the seizure of the fund of local government in Lagos is illegal and unconstitutional. The point I'm making therefore is that these cases have been won. In the struggle for restructuring, we must know where we are so that we know what is left in order to make progress. And nobody can stop the trend. I've read some stupid statements about that. There is no way, I mean, they say, you cannot have a slightly pregnant woman. A woman is either pregnant or not. You cannot say, oh, she's slightly pregnant. No, there's nothing like that. You know what I'm talking about? Now, you can't say, we are going to continue to collect VAT. No. Is VAT in the exclusive legislative list? No. Is it in the concurrent list? No. So it must go to residual, where only the state can operate. And that is the law. Lagos State sat down one day and said, what do we do? All the fees collected in entertainment, hospitality business, hotels, were being collected by the federal government. Lagos State went to court and said, no, entertainment is not in the exclusive list. Why should we be paying the money to the federal? And the Supreme Court said, Justice Galadima, Lagos is right. States shall continue to collect levies from the hospitality business. Let me therefore conclude by saying that we have enough room to struggle as states in Nigeria. It is only where state governments are not assisted by the media and our intellectuals to know their rights under the law. Let me just talk about security before I sit down. Because of the abuse of police powers in the First Republic, whereby a dead body may be dumped on your backyard in the night so that you will be arrested the following day. I'm sure you could recall. So in 1979 it was decided that we're not going to have state police. We shall have Nigeria police force, not federal government police force. There is no federal government police force in Nigeria. So when governors are saying, we want to have state police, I laugh. You know why? Section 214 of the Constitution says there shall be only one police force, known as Nigeria Police Force. 2. Section 216. The president cannot appoint an inspector general of police or remove one without consulting the Nigerian Police Council. Who are members of the Nigerian Police Council? 39 of them. The president only as the chairman, the Inspector General of Police, the chairman Police Service Commission, and the 36 state governors. Unfortunately, the governors have abdicated police power to the president. So when they are going to remove an IG, the governors will hear the information like all of us, and the president will appoint somebody to act for 6 months. After 6 months, he will summon a meeting of the governor. This is the CD of my next IG. No objection. The IG is supported. No, that is not what the Constitution is saying. You also are told that the president has directed that 10,000 police personnel be appointed. How? Where has he got the power? No, that is the power to be exercised by the Nigerian Police Council. So the point I'm making therefore is that in this distorted constitution, you have some areas that have not been exploited. I'm talking about poverty media people. Please help me. Nigeria is currently on board the NNPC. Who owns NNPC? Not the federal government. I'm sure you are surprised. It's not the federal government that owns the NNPC. The NNPC was set up under the military from the federation account. LNG federation account. We have 49% in LNG. In the last 20 years, LNG has paid to the federation account $18 billion, $9 billion tax, and $15 billion feed gas. But what has happened to the money? The federal government honored the entire money. And so, when you are told that the president has given out oil blocks, where has he got the power to give out oil blocks? Oil blocks belong to the federation, not to the federal government. So, let me now conclude by pleading with you, all of us, to be interested in the affairs of our country. And we must start with Lagos. So, I beg you. Now the elite, we don't care. We fix our roads. We supply water. We pay for security in the neighborhood. And you ask yourself, why are you paying for no salary? Why are you paying taxes? So horrible. But we don't ask for proper representation. The last time I got my tax papers from my house, I was coming from the court, so I went to the office. He said, please come. Come. If you send me this kind of bill next time, I will take you to court. And he said, why? Taxes are meant to provide services for me. If I have 2 generators in my office and a solar power system, I have my own security in the office and at home. I have my boreholes at home and in the office. Why am I paying tax? They said, Mr. Falana, please, can we negotiate how much do you want to pay? Because they know that once I go to court and the court gives a judgment, there will be a crisis. And that is why I'm begging all of us, let us organize, let us unite and fight the exploitation of our people. Once again, I want to thank you for this. I need to run that place.
Sir, you cannot run yet, sir. If you are ignorant, you are ignorant. Today, a lot of us have been opened up to a lot of things that we did not know. Especially the last one about tax. I live in Oniru. Sir, we have to go to court. Please, let's go to court. It's very necessary. So that that double taxation will not continue to happen. We're the ones fixing this, yet you still bring this tax, that tax. Please, if it was possible to stand up and give an ovation, I would ask us to go. Place your hands together for this powerful mind. This great embryo of knowledge, this enigmatic powerful resource because, sir, indeed,